Aloha interwebs, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for tuning in. Today is Friday, so we're going to do some gameplay footage, and we're doing another adventure in the LFR. I was finally able to get my gear score high enough to get into the next section of the LFR, which is the Throne of Thunder, and so I decided to jump in there and see what it was all about. And I didn't do a whole lot of research. I was actually in this group with a buddy of mine, just so we can try to get some gear, things like that. And so I didn't really do a lot of looking into the strats on how these bosses were. I was just going to kind of follow along with the group and hope that they all knew more than I did. So this was actually a pretty successful run in that I didn't know what I was doing, and I didn't cause anybody to die, and I didn't die myself. That's how you measure success. I didn't get any loot, but yeah, it was a fun experience, and I hadn't done any kind of grouping up with my buddy in a while, so it was kind of fun. So this first boss, Ginrock, is a basic tank and spank, with the tank trying to keep you out of fire as much as he possibly could, which is always a good thing. Staying out of the fire is advisable. So as you can see on the ground, there's pools of electricity, and I don't know if you're supposed to stand in it or not, so I stayed with the melee group, and it seemed like people weren't standing in the electrical pools of crap on the ground, so I didn't either. The tank seemed to be fairly knowledgeable as far as where he was going to put him, so I just stayed behind the boss and did my thing, and hopefully that was good enough. And this particular attempt, it was enough. The boss goes down, and that's really all you can ask for in an LFR. That may be some gold, and of course the occasional loot drop. And as typical with LFR runs, as soon as the boss dies, everyone decides they need to go into raid chat and bitch about not getting anything. So we had to deal with that. But anyways, on to the next boss, giant Triceratops guy. The boss mechanics for this fight is a pretty straightforward boss ads type of situation. I wasn't 100% sure if this giant Triceratops was going to do a tail swipe, so I didn't know if I should be DPSing behind it. But then, as you can kind of see, it does like a frontal and a rear cone ground effect, and I figured that was a bad thing to stand in, so I tried to go to the side, and somebody was yelling, you know, get the ads, and I didn't know there were ads until somebody said that. But you know, after they said that, I was able to get on the ads, kill all the ads, get back on the boss, and this thing takes forever. Usually when you have a boss ads type of situation, the fight does tend to get a little bit long, depending on whether or not the DPS actually kills the ads like they're supposed to. It just makes life harder on the healers, and you know, you just got things running around attacking the crap out of things. So this group actually did seem like they were playing by the rules. They were boss ads. I'm sure there's a lot more mechanics to this boss than I'm able to give you. But like I said, I didn't do a lot of research in this strategy, so this isn't really a how-to. And since it's not a huge amount of fail, it's not necessarily a how not to. But as you can see, you know the range are staying out of range, and the melee group is staying in the middle, attacking the boss from the side. So that it seems to be your basic dragon mechanics. Never attack a dragon from the back, as the tail swipes, and you know, stay out of crap on the ground, attack the ads when they. So the third boss in this particular wing of the Throne of Thunder is a council type of situation, and I'm not 100% sure if this is a kind of thing like the Stone Council from Guild War, where if you kill them in a certain order, certain things happen, or different debuffs and things of that nature. I'm not sure. I just followed Skull. The tank marked it, and that's what I killed. And it seemed to be working. So the first person we focused fire down was Soul, the sand crawler, and he put a bunch of like quicksand traps around. And if any of you guys have watched some of my other videos, all 20 of you that are going to watch this, you notice that I love to stand in fire. That's sarcasm. It's just that I'm bad. So I actually avoided the quicksand pits, and for the most part, I was able to stay away from the giant troll rolling around trying to kill people. And so that right there was a pretty big accomplishment for me. But the particular order that we went in was the Sandcrawler, Frost King, then the Healer, High Priestess, and finally we ended with the giant troll guy rolling around trying to steamroll people. And again, I'm not sure if that's the exact order that's optimal, but it seemed to work out. Just the one mobile boss we just left for last, and focus fired down, and the other three bosses. And to me, it seemed pretty straightforward, tank and spank on the other three bosses, because the tank was keeping them all close together. So there was cleave action going, and then ultimately we were just focus firing down each of the bosses. And I'm sure if you're looking at it from a tank's perspective or from a healer's perspective, there's all kinds of crazy stuff going on in the fight. But as far as the DPS, stay out of the crap on the ground, stay away from the giant rolling troll, and DPS from behind, and try not to get anybody else killed. I didn't even notice that there's one of those kinds of debuffs that you get on you that cause you to do damage or AoE or something where you're supposed to run out of the group. I personally didn't get anything like that, so I'm not sure if there's one of those kinds of functions in here or not. But for the most part, other than the fact that it's really long, which most council type fights are, they tend to get a little bit lengthy, a little long in the tooth, but for the most part, it's pretty straightforward mini bosses. And I was able to follow along without doing a whole lot of research, as long as you didn't do what I normally do, which is, fail, like standing in fire and things like that. So if you just keep your wits about you, and you have, general knowledge of most past raid bosses and things like that, then this is a fairly easy thing to get through. As far as the LFR goes, I'm sure it's a lot different on regular mode, 10 to 25 man, and then heroic, obviously, probably a whole lot different, because this is the LFR. As we all know, it's a little bit, dumbed down compared to the real stuff, but it was still fun. I had a good time. It was all new to me. I know it's been out for a little while, but it's still new to me. So thanks for stopping by the channel, interwebs. I appreciate it. Peace out. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Don't forget to subscribe. We'll catch you guys in the next video.